You're on to Couples Classic live with me again. Today is another exciting, very, very exciting, guest with me. But before I introduce him, last week I had a couple who joined me here talking about tips to a long-lasting relationship or tips to a long-lasting marriage. And I got so many calls from people telling me it was a time out and they really enjoyed the fact that we tuned in on ACBN TV. Just in case this is your first time to join us on ACBN TV, every Wednesdays by 4, Couples Classic comes on air to talk about topical issues that will help marriages. And I want to welcome you back today. Now today, I have another topic of interest. Many people have been asking to know if when this topic will be treated. And by God's grace, today we are looking at disputes in marriage, violence and divorce. Welcome back. I still remain Pastor Funke Aluko, your regular host on Couples Classic. Today to join me on this topic is no other person but a lawyer, of course a seasoned lawyer at that. I'm talking about lawyer Olanrewaju Akinboh. He's a legal practitioner, barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, a litigation lawyer with specialization on matrimonial causes, child rights, advocacy, criminal law, and intellectual property law. The lawyer Olanrewaju Akinboh is a family man, a father, and grandfather of children. By God's grace, he is also the founder and principal of Olanrewaju Akinboh and Company. Alright, so you can call in on this program to ask your questions on some numbers that will be displayed much later as this discussion progresses. You're welcome, lawyer, sir.
Good afternoon.
It's nice having you here on set with me.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
it's
sir.
Nice being here again. And this is quite going to be an interesting day.
I know
because
so.
It has dominated the whole environment about the violence in marriages, about disputes, and about unhappiness.
Unhappiness.
When people marry, it's the expectation that the home is a place, it's a unit of the society,
okay,
and it's supposed to be a happy environment. And such that the children that are coming, the students that are coming to the marriage, from the marriage, are supposed to alive in a more homely and happy environment.
All right.
The parents are supposed to guide them and bring them up in a happy way.
Okay.
So it's nice being with you again.
Thank you so much. The last time I had you come around, then it was still it wasn't as established as what you're saying. A lot of issues were, discussed, and people really were blessed by that edition. And by God's grace, we want to see how we can handle much more than we did the last time. We are talking about disputes in marriage, violence, and divorce. Is it possible you can put these three things together in the next 10 minutes? Let's hear you talk about
very well.
these three areas.
Yes, once you realize that once one person and another meets, either to form a union or a contract, what you are creating is a dispute. And the whole essence is to guide to such that when dispute is going to arise or there is of the end, you have created a level form of tolerance, so that parties can relate. And what is going to guide you is the dialogue, how much dialogue you are having in your own, then how much well you are relating with each other. In the sense that you are expecting a dispute, but not the one that you are going to use your fist or you are going to use weapon to injure the other party. But fist dispute so that you can resolve by way of dialogue. And then when you now talk about violence such that causes injury to the extent that you're going to maim the other party. You saw that you are going to throw weapons in the home. There are places of dangerous arena in the home. For example, the kitchen is the arena of a woman. There she knows where the knives are. There she knows where the other things are, where the fires are. Then the other place is the bedroom. It's also a danger arena. She says that any of the party can use the pillow to suffocate the other person. And then when you are talking about divorce, where people generally call it divorce, but we call it dissolution of marriage. And there are grounds upon which you want to dissolve a marriage. All those grounds are stated under Section 15, subsection 2 of the Matrimonial Causes Act. What you know, these are what governs marriage. We have the Marriage Act. And I want to state that if people don't marry under the Marriage Act, then you also marry under the native law and custom. But the whole essence of this discussion is to ensure that God Almighty Himself in the Scripture says, I have all putting asunder. Then why has the devil come to dominate such that it's even in the Christian home that you see a lot of people killing each other, husband killing wife, wife killing husband. So it's becoming a public disturbance. So the Lagos State government, Lagos State judiciary, has established what we know as sexual offences court and domestic violence court. These are special court listening to this, and they are seasoned judges in these courtrooms. So that is the whole essence that why we are talking today is to enlighten the people to reorientate themselves to see that marriage is a happy arena, it's a home where you have to bring forth children that will be very happy. That is just a short explanation.
Okay. So, but at what point in disputes in marriage should a couple be, seeking for help? At what point? Because just like you said, that once a couple comes together, when two people agree to live together as man and husband, indirectly they're cutting for dispute somewhat. So, but at what point should a couple seek for help when it comes to disputes in marriage?
Well, see, at the point they are entering into forming an association, into becoming husband and wife,
yes,
that is when you say they have courtship.
Okay.
And I always emphasize the best thing is for you to marry your friend.
Definitely.
Once you have married your friend, you can discuss at any time.
Okay.
Now, the most important is that at the stage that they see anything that is rearing its ugly head, that is when they should immediately, individually among themselves, identify the use of language in a home, and then the conduct or movement that is annoying. And at that stage, so it is when it is getting out of hand that they can also approach who are their counselors at the time they were getting married, or approach relations and the spiritual, because most things that create annoyance is usual others around expectations. People who are coming to marriage with a place that it's not like a young child. We are parents. You have a baby, you raise the child up to 5 years or 2 years, then you now suddenly make the child to go to school. On that very day, the child will create a lot of nuisance, annoyance, cry, because it's changing environment. So the same thing that when people are grown up, when they are getting to marry, let me take the basic age of 21, 22 or 25, and they are leaving their home. They are coming from another background to meet another background, and then to establish a home. So this perception is when they start to see differentials in conduct, in behavior, and in attitude. And they try to see how they can manage. But one person must be larger in mind. That is the woman, who is the mother by nature, created by nature to take care of the home and to listen more. The husband too should listen, so that at the end of the day, once any dispute is arising out of that marriage, which mostly borders on not recognition of the intangibles. The intangibles means that the woman is at home doing a lot of work. These are not things, value, money are not attached to this. Cleaning the home or with the support of the domestic servant and do all those things. Then the man comes and says, oh, what have you been doing all day? You are not giving cognizance to those intangibles. Preparing the food, making the home a welcome place for the husband. Then the same thing a woman may not even recognize. Oh, you have gone out all day, and you never bother to give a call. So not recognize that the man, whether he's doing a laundry work or he's doing a carpentry work or anything like that, you must take cognizance of the efforts that he is making. So that is why we must give respect to whatever we see as non-tangible.
Okay.
That each party is doing. A woman that wakes up early morning to prepare the children for school, clean them up, is doing what you cannot attach monetary value to. And then a man does not give cognizance to that. He said that, oh, what is all the effort that the woman, when you are supposed to have prepared my meal, now that I'm going to work. You see, all those things are intangible that will create dispute. And they should create balances so that the home becomes a sweeter arena for them to live and enjoy and be happy with.
All right. You just mentioned just one aspect of things that could cause disputes in marriage. You talked about the intangible, when a woman is busy doing a lot of the other jobs in the house, home keep, in terms of taking care of the smooth running of the house. Children will go to school, preparing meals, taking care of every other thing at the home front, and then the husband is out there seeking for should I use the word greener pastures and all that. So, and then this other person is not seen as doing something, and she knows that she is doing something, which has been to some people some form of issues that could result to eventually, violence. Okay? So, are there other, by your experience as a lawyer, are there other instances of things that could cause disputes in marriages? Just for those, in case there are people who are listening to us and they want to get themselves prepared in case it begins to show up, especially for those who are preparing to get into marriage. What are the other areas that poses a threat to the peace and harmony in homes?
Well, I think let me start with the point of appreciation. Okay. If you appreciate yourselves, okay, any little thing, like I mentioned, the intangible, okay, if it is just a man comes to the home and the woman brings water, okay, to welcome him, that is appreciation. That's appreciation. You must appreciate it. Now, the next thing is the level of tolerance. Tolerance. See, people, these are things that borders on diagnosis. Okay. I mean, diagnosis in the sense that you have to know what is the type of tolerance the man has. Is he a hot temperamental person? Is it this? You should have identified all these things. Because a lot of people, the way they react to simple, it could be the man coming home, not keeping his socks tidy, and the woman discovered that, oh, what type of behavior is this? And this is a language that provokes the man, and from there they discover that they make the home a battleground. Exactly. So it is, and it's also the point that the type of meal, because the home, when you have created your home after marriage, that is your own constituency. The man is the president of that home. Yes. And then the woman is also the chief executive. Exactly. It depends that the old jurisdiction inside the home, the bedroom or whatever, she ensures that everything is okay, up to the toilet and the kitchen. Exactly. No matter how manageable your apartment is. So that is why I'm saying that appreciation. Okay. So if the man knows that I've gotten a new home, especially for young marriages, I've gotten a new wife, then the next thing is to make sure you build up a security around the home, around your family, the type of visitors that will come, your relations or whatever, and then the type of places you have to go to, socials you have to keep. So that keeps the home. The kind of friends. Yes, because you see the way a new couple will react to some of your recent lifestyle. All right. Before you start a marriage, will be different. Exactly. So men will want to go to places unannounced, not in telling the man, the woman, whatever, forgetting that you have now formed a company, a companion, partnership. All right. Which in such that you can always discuss so many things together before you even think of spending. Because most of the money you earn and spend, they are family funds. Okay. Not necessarily that the man is the one that is earning that money or generating that income. All right. But the woman is the one that it's meant for the family. It's meant for the family. Because when anything happens, like maybe medical bills or unexpected things happen, these are the things you discover that when one of the spouse will ask, oh, you just earned salary yesterday. Now we want to do these things. You are telling me you don't have money. No, don't you know that my mother is there? Don't you know my auntie is there? Don't you know that? Now that is one of the areas dispute will come up.
Come up, yes.
And it may generate so much annoyance.
Heat in the house.
In the house.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Because young marriages need so much communication.
So much communication.
Such that parties can know that, oh, this home is a place of security, financial security.
All right.
You know, the security as to food security in the home. It's not to live a wasteful life such that you expect that, oh, all things will be perfect when you're supposed to have, occasionally, some people have some joint savings or knowledge of income of each other. But nowadays, you discover that this party as a wife or this other party as a husband, they have, you know, they're always back to back.
Back to back.
So all this makes, you know, marriages to generate dispute. So and when dispute is generated, that, like I talked about the level of tolerance, it's an expression of anger. And the expression of anger is what now leads to what we call violence.
Exactly.
Because most instances when such things like that happen, when we say, okay, this one has killed that, nobody is in the house with them.
Nobody is in the house.
The next thing you're hearing is the voice in the neighborhood. You know? And then it is at that point one person must be able to tell either the recognized authority, the police, or there are so many bodies that you can report domestic violence to that will be responsive. They have numbers. You know, because a lot of people will tell their family, they will be, so is this not husband and wife matter? They will settle it.
And you know
they will settle it.
Exactly.
Then the next thing is that when it has generated so much that they cannot tolerate it any longer, that's when it's okay. I think I have to get out of this marriage. Okay. That is when they now think of divorce.
Now let me ask a question.
You know?
Before this divorce issue sets in, at what level can friends, maybe neighbors, you know, in the compound, at what level are they permitted to interfere, especially when they begin to hear voices like mentioned? I remember the Aluko's case, the guy exactly that killed his banker wife.
Yes, there are several others that have happened after that.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I've heard, you know, like his own case, for instance. After the whole thing happened, you know, the neighbors started attesting to the fact that their dispute was becoming very, very regular. You know, they make a lot of noise, shouting at each other, fighting and all that. And in this part of the world, people are beginning to get wary of coming in to, you know, help couples. At what point is a neighbor allowed, or should a neighbor, is it encouraging or should a neighbor come in to help a couple, especially when they've noticed that these ones are always, you know, at the peak of their voices each time they are talking?
It's not limited to neighbors. You see, it is about speaking out.
Okay.
The wife or the husband must speak out so loud. Not just limited to his own voice or the neighbor or anybody. He must speak out so loud to the church pastor, to everybody. Nowadays we have telephone. Instantly you discover that the kind of conduct is becoming annoying. You can call any closest number on your phone. Could be the relations or whatever. That this is what is happening now as I'm speaking. And if it's beyond that, there's nothing wrong for you to go to the nearest police station to incident that case where it has moved from just minor dispute to violence.
Okay.
Because this is what we have found out, that most of the recorded cases that even some of the states are prosecuting or whatever, domestic violence or the homicide cases, we discovered that they were never at any time made any attempt to incident the case in any police station.
Okay.
They kept it to themselves. Such that you see a woman have a scratch on the face, the relation will ask her, what happened to your face? You are not like this yesterday. He said, no, I just struck my face on the door of the kitchen. You understand? I fell down, or I was trying to cut something in the kitchen. And then meanwhile, one party has been able to give another person a serious bite on the finger or injury on the face.
Okay.
So that is the point, the initial point. They must speak out. If you don't speak out, you are not making an invitation for people to interfere.
But you see, if the couple is not willing to speak out, like we have several cases like that. In this part of the world, we want to cover up what is happening in the house. We don't want people to know that, okay, everything is not fine with, the husband and the wife. So they keep patching, they keep covering up. Is it advisable? Because I know that people are listening and they probably want to know what level of involvement should they have. Is it advisable for neighbors, people around who hear them, make noise every day? Is it advisable for them to incident this issue on behalf of this couple so that it doesn't degenerate to the point of one person killing the other, just like we've seen happening? Does the law, accept such gestures?
You see, all those ones are extant. It's almost some sort of extant evidence that okay, you have been quarreling. What I'm trying to explain is that immediately the voice is loud.
Okay.
Immediately the voice is loud. If somebody is so quiet to himself and kept everything to himself or herself inside the house,
yes,
neighbor cannot just come and knock the door.
Okay.
And say, we want to see how you are doing there.
Okay.
And we have seen cases that where people, husband and wife, are quarreling inside their home.
Yes.
Relations come visiting.
Okay.
They run into the room and clean up.
Okay.
And sit down together
to pretend
to the
nothing has
that,
happened.
Everything is well. Immediately they go, they start all over
again.
But somebody must be able to speak out and cry
down
to the whole world that this is
something is happening in that man's house.
One of the incidents that happened around the Lekki area, the 2 lawyers or whatever like that.
Okay.
The gentleman
yes,
that was murdered it's a public. It's in the news in the public arena. That was murdered, or slaughtered, so to say.
Slaughtered.
Now he was shouting too loud. He said he called his relations or whatever like that. You understand that this is what is going to happen. But he ought to have even taken steps to move out of the house, or run out of the house, or run to any nearest police station, because this thing has established so much annoyance in the public.
Okay.
A home that you're supposed to see happiness, just this person is killing this. You can catch your fingers. Not only in Lagos, even outside Lagos.
Exactly.
So you now discover that the time that people must interfere is when you just discover that the condition of somebody you are close to is not as happy as you used to know the person. There's nothing wrong in asking questions.
Okay.
Parents must always call up. We have telephone now. They say, how are you? How are you doing? How is this? Can I talk to your husband? That once in the course of asking those questions, when you discover the pattern of the response of the spouse or one of the spouses or the husband or wife, you must be able to take further steps to intervene. Either from the church end or from the family end or from the neighborhood end or whatever, to intervene. So if it could be, there are many serious issues that they will take so serious. Because it could be the man came home late yesterday night and he's willing to give explanation. Perhaps nowadays we also know the type of traffic in Lagos or everywhere.
It's crazy.
Long travels or whatever.
Definitely.
That is why communication will be so much effective. Not just communication, it's more effective among the couples. So that they can be able to understand that, that is the truth.
Well, viewers at home, I'm sure you're listening. You're with us on Couples Classic. We are discussing about dispute in marriage, violence, and divorce. With me has been lawyer Akinboh, Olanrewaju. Okay, and we want to make sure that some of these things that used to lead to violence and eventual death of a partner in marriage should be looked into, because it's becoming rampant. So we've established the fact that as a friend of a couple is always, at each other's neck, you can as well take steps so that these things will not keep happening. The truth is, if you lose a good friend because of violence in marriage, I'm sure you will not be happy. We are expecting calls from you, just in case you're listening. The numbers to call are displayed on the screen. Please do give us a call, ask your questions, and also be part of this discussion. Thank you so very much. Okay, now let's look at violence, as it were. We've talked about some things that could be that could lead to disputes in marriage. In fact, there are a whole lot of them. a whole lot of them. I know of a lady that spoke to me in the course of the week when she saw that that we're going to talk about dispute in marriage, and she was lamenting that she is working very hard. The man hardly brings home, but she's not complaining so much about that. But where she's beginning to find it very, very difficult is that she works hard to get bills paid, and then she gives him money to go pay some bills, whether that's school fees or house rent, and then the money will not get to the destination intact. He diminishes or he reduces, you know that amount, and the people concerned will give her calls to say, why are you paying half or part of the money? Can we talk about finance before we now go into violence? The finance in marriage. I would like you to just enumerate, areas that couples should be wary of, couples should be care of. For instance, maybe having the same account, all those things. What is the level of the woman's involvement, or what should the man do when the woman is doing more than she actually bargained for, and things like that? Because these things can cause, especially finance, can cause disputes. Money for some couples is beyond what they can control.
Yeah, when we started talking, I told you that I mentioned that once you get married,
okay,
you have established what is called partnership.
Okay.
And even in the legal practice, when you say you establish partnership,
yes,
it's with utmost good faith.
Exactly.
So if a woman has so much money,
okay,
if the husband has less or the other has more,
okay,
they should see this money belonging to the
both
family.
of them. Okay.
And if they look at this from that angle, in this part of Africa, there are so many things that we allow the other party or family members to linger, to sit, to spy.
Okay.
Notwithstanding, they are not living with you inside your home, but they want to know.
Mm.
The mother, the wife will probably go and mention it to her friends. I'm the one that doing this. I'm the one that doing this. I think that is what creates annoyance.
Okay.
So if a woman works and earns more money, what she's sustaining and what the man, that's why I talk about the intangible. If the man is there at the home to drive the children to school or whatever like that, compute that into monetary value. In the sense that you have to hire a driver to take the children to school. So if the husband volunteers or the wife volunteers to take the children to school, now you discover that what is your life purpose?
All right.
The life purpose is for you to ensure that you raise up children, you understand, that will become, one, have the fear of God,
okay,
and that will become successful.
Okay.
And that's a long journey. And that long journey is what most couples don't want to wait for.
Okay.
The parents say that 2 years, this type of behavior, I can't tolerate it. Meanwhile, you have people who have been in marriages for 30 years, 40 years, and the children have grown up. So it is that length of time that you will not be able to fulfill, when the scripture says that you will see your children. How do you get there without that faith and dedication and purposeful that, okay, this is how to get there in terms of so the money generated by the wife, income generated by the wife, income generated by the husband, there are ways, there are finances, bills that they can sit down together on the table and look at it.
All right.
But if one party says, okay, you are the one doing it, you understand?
Yes.
It becomes burdensome.
It becomes burdensome.
If the other one said, okay, the man can continue doing it, you understand?
Yes.
It becomes burdensome. Because that is where you now discover that there will be unspoken disputes.
Unspoken disputes.
Yes.
Then
it will be, so if it's over a period of time, it will become, by expression, violence.
Takes place.
So, but if there's that communication, that, okay, my salary is coming for those who are earning salary, my business payment is going to come at so time, do you understand? Then you already, both parties will be aware of the budget of expenses in the home.
Exactly.
Because even if it's their own built home, they will know that, okay, they have to talk about the food for the house, they have the knowledge of the school fees, they also have the knowledge of some basic expenses that will be for the home.
Okay.
So both of them, they have that knowledge.
Okay.
They have that bill. So it is to fit in by way of support each other to ensure that these bills are paid. It's not to be sung so loud that the whole world will know that, it is that Mrs. Lagwaja that is doing everything. The husband is a lazy man. And that is the first thing that will create annoyance. So people should know how to know that this is a partnership, this is a home.
It is a partnership.
This is a serious journey to be made. And it is meant to fulfill purpose. Ambition has been satisfied. Ambition is the first thing you think that, okay, I want to be married. I want to settle down. That ambition has been fulfilled. Now, the next journey is life purpose.
Okay, I think we have a call. Mr. Bonnie from, Mr. Matthew from Bonnie. Yes, please do ask your question. You're welcome, please.
Hello?
Yes.
My name is a question.
Okay, speak on, please.
Yeah, my question is this.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been living fine with your wife, and at the end of the day, you want small issues come up, and you call a line to keep your call for over 3 weeks. I don't know, what next will you do as a man?
Okay, that's to say you don't live in the same place with your wife, and you call for 3 weeks, she's not picking your call. What are you to do as a man? I think the question is to you, sir.
Okay. You see, the question you're asking is that you have not been able to tell us if you have established a home. If you have established a home, and probably you travel, and you are trying to reach her, and she's not responding, that is going to create annoyance and anxiety for you. So if it's just the way you can understand your question is like you are just saying your woman or whatever. So if it's a marriage or it's your wife, then that is what you now have a sense of belonging.
Okay.
From both sides. Okay. There's no way somebody that you are married to will not have a sense of belonging to. Now, this is my call from my husband. He probably wants to know what is happening at the home front. You know, so it's not about what one would do, but so you just have to ensure that you see how you can reach each other face to face and sort out by way of dialogue.
Face to face.
You can understand yourself. Telephone may not be able to.
May not be able to solve the issue.
As face to face talk when you are together. That's my humble view.
Okay, Mr. Matthew, I don't know if you got the lawyer's response to your question. First of all, he wanted to establish the fact that you are married to the woman. So if you are married to the woman, it becomes somewhat difficult for someone who is in partnership with you in terms of being married not to want to pick your call. But if it happens so, then you would have to devise a means of showing up face to face with your partner to be able to resolve whatever it is the issue. Did we answer your question? Are you still there? Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Matthew. Thanks for calling. Thank you. We hope we were able to answer your question. Okay. Well, we are going to go on break just now. Just few seconds of break. We'll be back again. Please don't leave the screen. We'll be back in some seconds. All right. The topic we are still discussing is dispute in marriage, violence, and divorce. Don't go away. Stay blessed. Welcome back, viewers, on Couples Classic. Your regular host, Pastor Funke. Today with me on set is lawyer Olanrewaju Akinboh. We are talking about dispute in marriage, violence, and divorce. We've looked at dispute in marriage, and we also have we've taken a look at violence. Now we want to talk about divorce. Sir, in about 5 minutes, can you just talk to my viewers what divorce is all about, and to what point, to what point what can actually make a couple seek for divorce? Just talk to us in a few minutes what divorce is all about. Yeah.
Well, if you marry under the Act,
okay,
which is Marriage Act,
okay,
we know that this law is a legal transplant.
all right,
You know, and it does not have full reflection of our culture and morals in this part of the world.
okay,
It's a legal transplant from the English law.
okay,
Now, we also have in Nigeria customary marriages.
okay,
Now, people always say that, okay, court marriage. All marriages are court marriages because they are lawful.
all marriages are
They are court marriages.
Whoa.
Because they say court marriage because you have to dissolve the marriage in the courts.
Okay, okay,
You see, the marriage under the Act is that you go to the marriage registry and then the marriage is conducted there. And churches that conduct marriages must also have license from the marriage registry, under the Marriage Act. So the grounds upon which you can dissolve marriage under the Marriage Act is stated under the Matrimonial Causes Act.
okay,
And those grounds are very strict and basic. They are stated under Section 15, subsection 2, paragraph A to H. You know, the 2-year rule is there. You know, the mere fact that, okay, the marriage has gone beyond that, you can no longer tolerate the other party.
okay. I think we have a call.
One of the issues surrounding violence in marriage is as a result of the fact that most times the women don't want to submit according to what the Bible says in the book of Ephesians,
Okay,
chapter 5, verse 22.
yes,
So if a woman submits, the husband's duty is to love
okay,
and make sacrifices
okay,
for the wife. But in both cases, the women don't want to submit, they don't want to be submitted to the man. The man is making you have left me to himself, for you to join him in achieving their vision.
okay,
And to plan with the person. But most times when you tell the woman to do this, they wouldn't want to do it. And
okay,
by so doing, it brings violence. And that's what every man will want to take control of his own.
definitely.
So when that is not in progress, it will also result to violence. So to me, I felt if a woman is submissive to the man, then there will be peace. Where there is no submission, there will be violence. Thank you very much. That's my contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Okay, thanks for that contribution. Mr. Wilson from Rivers had just submitted that
Yes.
lack of submission for some women in marriages is what would usually cause some form of violence.
Yes.
Okay, and she is encouraging that women should learn to be submissive. Do you agree with that?
See, all these are expectations.
There are
There are
expectations.
expectations.
Yeah.
When you expect
okay.
too much,
Okay.
do you understand? And these are the things you are bringing before you form the association of marriage, before you come to marriage, into your mind. It could be on the part of a man,
Okay.
or it could be on the part of a woman. You know, and by nature, and we discover that even when those of us that have made children at home, they try to express domineering attitude.
Okay.
The mere fact they are men. They will not participate in cleaning the kitchen. They believe it is the girl that will do it, even though those are their seniors. And these are the things that at home front as parents, you start making the male child to know that, look, you two can know how to cook.
Exactly.
You two know how to wash plates. So when that one has been part of you as a man, you can wash plates in the kitchen. It's your home. As I said, you have established a home.
Okay.
You can assist in changing napkin of the baby. You can assist in so many things in the home.
In the home.
You understand? And then
Yes.
instances that the wife could be sick, you understand? You should expect that. You must be able to know that one day this woman may be tired. That you should be able to do some things. You know? So those are the things that will assist you. So when you are now looking at it from the biblical point of view, the same scripture teaches us that, you just have to treat your woman with all carefulness so that your prayer will not be hindered. Most men prayers are hindered because that the Bible says we should teach them with carefulness. You know, the tenderness is there in the scripture, which we have been taught, but we must make sure that we also, because knowing their nature. So is this, that what the gentleman is saying, that it's all borders on expectation, that it is the woman that must do all these things. She must be submissive. Note that both of you are partner. That's what I've said. If you look at it from that point of view, like it's just like you have a company, you have a business, there must be contributions. It is the contribution that makes it wholesome, that makes the home so happy and so undisturbed. Violence and dispute will not come if both of you have come to understand that this is where you all belong to. Now, I was talking about the issue of divorce. Divorce is such that it is expensive to go through the proceedings, and it is painful.
And painful.
Yes, it is easier for you to go into it, either at the marriage registry or the church or the ceremony, whatever. But when you want to commence the proceedings for dissolution of marriage, it is quite expensive.
Quite expensive.
And it takes time. And it is the only law that you have that is so tolerates so much morality. Because by virtue of the section 11 of the law, it encourages the judge and the court, you understand, to first of all promote settlements, to promote dialogue for such a long time, you know, and you are going to have what you call compulsory conference submitted to the courts, that okay, you have sat down together as husband and wife and discuss how you are going to live your life. But a lot of people will say divorce. The divorce of dissolution is not the only order that the court can give. The court can also give you the order of judicial separation.
Wow.
So the court can judicially separate you. That, okay, you are going to kill yourself, you are going to do that. So you can make a petition on that ground that I don't think I want to divorce this my husband. I don't think I want to divorce this my wife. But all I want is just judicial separation, so that I can be able to live, to be the mother of my children, or can be able to be alive, to do things. So after a period of time, you can come back. You can also file for dissolution of marriage as it is on its own. In the course of the proceedings, we have seen where people will come to say, okay, fine, we don't want to quarrel again. We still want to marry. You understand? Then people will now withdraw pleadings.
All right.
They will now, what we call them, people will now settle, and then the court is okay, go and marry. We have seen an instance during this, what is it that they do on this February 12 or 13?
Okay, is it 14?
14.
Okay, Valentine.
Valentine.
Okay.
Where we were in court, about the next adjourned day, it was the Valentine week, and the parties were in court, husband and wife. They said, okay, well, we think we want to withdraw our pleadings. We don't want to continue with this proceedings. The court was happy to say, okay, since tomorrow is Valentine or the next day is Valentine, go and Valentine each other. And so, but the whole thing about it is that it is not good for it to cross your mind in a way. They said that you can continue to dialogue, you can continue to avoid the disputes, because all these disputes, they are so minimal. All those your ground of dispute are not, as long as they are not stated, they are not part of the grounds for dissolution of marriage, there's no court that will entertain it. So that is why, to let you know that court itself promotes settlement more than you can imagine, to say, okay, I want to go and divorce my wife. It doesn't come that easy. It doesn't come that easy.
And it takes time
It takes a lot of time.
Wow. And
it takes, the court will even sit you down to talk to you. Most judges will take you to chambers to listen to you. You know, they listen to the welfare of the child. And people should not forget nowadays that we have what we call child right law. And child right law takes precedence. When there are children in a marriage, you may not be able to get the divorce.
When there are children,
because the interest of the children becomes paramount.
First of all,
their welfare, the happiness you have created for them by your establishment of a home, the way they see daddy coming from work, the way they embrace their mother, that home you have established as a partner, it has established a form of happiness. So when you want to initiate that, the courts want to know that what do you plan to have for the children who are very tenderly, especially when they are minor. So it is better for people to ensure that there are some organizations that can assist in the discussion as to dispute that comes in marriages before you get to the issue of thinking that, okay, I think I should go and file a process for divorce or whatever like that. So it is not as encouraging or as speedy or as you think you can get it. So then the other area you look at is the area of that I said that all marriages are court marriages. He said that even if you marry under the native law and custom, and you are Christian or whatever, you discover that the only place you can go to is to go to the customary court. So why people call it court marriage? Because it's only in court that you can dissolve marriages or union or relationship of so-called husband and wife and spouse. So, but we have a statutory marriage. That is the one marriage under the Act. You have the marriage under the native law and custom. So then some people will opt for parental blessings, which impliedly becomes that seeing them together, they are husband and wife. So that is as long as there's a union, it becomes rebuttable for one of the parties to say, no, it's not my wife or whatever. So people see you together all the time. Most people have lived their life like that, and then they are happier, you know. So it is the whole essence is that if you divorce is to ensure that you don't kill each other when disputes has become so much violence and the marriage has broken down irretrievably, so that they can no longer be able to be seen, or one party cannot tolerate to live with another person. So that is where you have moved to the arena of divorce or dissolution of the marriage.
All right, thank you so much, lawyer, for that explanation. Now, you're making it known here today that going for divorce really takes a long time. What is the process? What's the minimal number of maybe months, or is it into years before the divorce is granted by the courts?
Well, in a divorce, when you file a proceedings with respect to marriage, under the Marriage Act, the Matrimonial Causes Act, the Matrimonial Causes Rules, you know, it's not about the length of time, it's about the time available for the court, in the sense that the initial step we have, the court want to see that they promote reconciliation, which may take several months or take years.
Several months.
Yes. That's why I mentioned the issue of the children.
So that's to say the court is not really interested in
divorce. It's the only law that embraces so much morality. That's what I'm saying. Unlike a criminal law that, you know, the person is picked up and he entered the home to arrest a man. It's the only court that, the only law that the judge and the lawyers and everybody will be so emotional about the children, about the saving the marriage. Even though one person has taken so much time that no, I don't want. The court will still, even when it is undefended, the other party has to be so much notified that, look, do you want this woman to go? Unless he said, or do you want this man to go? Unless he said, no, I'm not defending. No, not either by filing process or not filing process, non-appearance in court. The court will still compel that processes must be brought to the notice of the other party by hearing notice or sheriff serving or service or processes or something like that. So you now discover that in the course of that, you still have to go ahead and convince the court that that marriage has broken down so much irretrievably that just like a cube of sugar, you throw it into the water, it dissolves. That's it called, so you cannot retrieve it again. That is what we say, the dissolution of the marriage. It becomes irretrievable, so that the other party is so convincing the court, look, I don't think I can be able to live with this party again on the grounds that are stated under the section 15, subsection 2 of Matrimonial Causes Rule Act, so to say. So if you cannot prove it under those grounds, it doesn't mean that no, my wife doesn't cook very well. I don't like, no court will tell her that you can't get a divorce.
Or maybe my husband is cheating on me.
All those ones.
The court will not.
No, the court will not look at that.
But how do you marry the scripture, you know, and that aspect of the law that doesn't respect somebody's desire to divorce his partner on the basis of what do you call it now, unfaithfulness in marriage?
All these are problem of knowledge. If both parties have comprehensive knowledge of the Word of God, it helps them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know the Bible says, you know, one can divorce his, for instance, the man can divorce his wife on the platform of would I say unfaithfulness in marriage. Now the court does not respect that.
That's what I'm telling you. Those stated grounds are what it maybe the 2-year rules or dissertation. If the person had deserted for a period of, have lived apart for a period of time, that
And they still cannot.
All those ones, those are the grounds.
Okay.
You know, but like we all have knowledge of the school. That's why it's a problem of knowledge.
All right.
The Lord Jesus Christ that why do you want to put your wife away? It's because of the hardness of your heart.
Of your heart. In the beginning, it was not so. Yes.
It's because of the hardness of your heart, and the heart does not have bones. But human being will build bones there by way of their annoyance and their handedness and struggle like that. So the whole essence is that you don't get it easy in the courtroom, in the sense that the court will exhaust those condition precedent, you know, settlement, reconciliation, and provided under Section 11. The court has power to ensure that, look, I want to listen to you.
All right.
Some judges will go to in the privacy of chambers. They will listen. Even in the courtroom, they will set matters down and say, come and tell me what is your annoyance.
Okay.
Why don't you want the husband? What is this? What is that?
Okay.
You know, and they do it cleverly by way of adjournment. Some courts will give you 3 months adjournment.
Oh God. Just to see if it's possible for them to come back
your mind will have been settled.
Okay.
When you come back again,
some
court will say, okay, the court is going on long vacation. Come back November. So
just
you are
in case.
going to 2 or 3 years.
You can imagine 2 or 3 years. But are there instances where the court gives instant, you know, divorce? You understand, for a couple? Are there exceptional cases?
Yes, those exceptional grounds are if the person comes to court, and that's you are going to seek the leave of court to prove that, because you may not have satisfied the 2-year rule.
Okay.
Stipulated and all those grounds.
Okay.
That's on grounds of cruelty.
Okay.
Cruelty, wickedness. If you can prove those grounds, like all these instances of violence we see, if a woman can come that this man is beating me and show injuries and something like that, then the court can grant leave that this marriage has to be dissolved expeditiously. Okay.
All right. I really had to ask that question because I was made to understand that it's possible to have the court grant instant, you know,
that is once you have
approval.
You have to have quality, beating.
Okay, and it must be proven.
Yes, you have to prove that by way of taking leave of court. You have to move the court to believe you.
All right.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lawyer Akinboh. It was nice having you in the house today.
Nice.
All right. Well, viewers, you've heard it all today. And just in case you would like to have to speak to him much later after this program, your number is?
0802.
Okay.
351.
Okay.
5213.
All right.
Or 081.
Yes.
626.
Okay.
79719.
All right. Those are the numbers to call Lawyer Olanrewaju Akinboh. All right, and I'm sure he's going to give you all the assistance required. It has been wonderful on Couples Classic ACBN TV. I have been your host, and in fact, your regular host. Just in case you want to be a partner to this program, you want to advertise, or you want to sponsor the program, please, the number to call is 08022221286. 08022221286. Thank you once again for joining. I expect to meet with you again next week, Wednesday at 4 sharp. Thank you. Stay blessed.